What's up everybody, my name is Kaneshka and I'm a fourth year medical student from the Netherlands. In this video, I want to explain to you why I decided to take on a big challenge and start preparing for the USMLE Step 1 examination. Before we delve into this topic, and I'll tell you all the reasons why I'm convinced that I want to study for this examination, I just want to give the viewers who don't know what the USMLE is some more background information. The USMLE stands for the United States Medical Licensing Examination, and Step 1 is actually the first in a series of 3 medical board examinations that you have to pass in order to become a licensed physician in the US. The fair thing about this examination is that everybody, or any medical student or doctor who aspires to become a licensed doctor in the US has to take this examination. So it doesn't matter if you're an international medical graduate or you're a domestic medical graduate. For both groups, the same thing applies. You have to pass all 3 in order to practice in the US. So I think that's a pretty nice and standardized way in order to allow everybody with the right qualifications and knowledge to enter the medical field in the US. It puts most people on an equal ground. Before I tell you a bit more about the reasoning behind my decision to take on this exam, I want to tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm fairly new to the YouTube game actually, so if you find anything wrong with my videos, just let me know in the comments below. It's a learning process. I really enjoy doing this, but I'm fairly new to the game. So as I told you in the introduction, I'm a 4th year medical student studying in the Netherlands. So that would make me an international medical student in terms of the US. I've enjoyed medicine for the past 3.5 years. I really like what I'm studying. I've done 1 clinical rotation so far in internal medicine and general surgery, and also that clinical rotation was very fun, was very interesting, and I'm really sure that medicine is the career path that I want to embark on, and I know it's the right fit for me. I'm really content with my situation in the Netherlands, and I would love to work as a clinician over here. However, for the past few years, I've been toying with the idea of moving to the US for at least some part of my career and work there as a clinician or do some research. There's one main obstacle. In order to practice as a clinician in the US, you need to pass these USMLE examinations. And I was always like, yeah, I'll do that later in med school, towards the end of med school in the Netherlands, which is a 6-year program, by the way. And if you guys are interested in how medicine, how the medical curriculum exists in the Netherlands, just leave it in the comments below and I'll make a separate video about it. Anyway, I always thought that I would do the USMLE examinations towards the end of medical school. However, recently there has been a change in the scoring. There's going to be a change in the scoring system of the USMLE Step 1. From 2022 onwards, they will change the numerical score system to a pass-fail system. And for some US students, that might sound like a very good thing because it reduces the stress that was related or is related to this first USMLE examination. However, for us international students, changing the system is actually not very advantageous because we have less means to distinguish ourselves as good students. For a lot of international students, the numerical score gave them an opportunity to really study hard and get a really great score that would attract attention from residency directors or program directors. And once they're going to remove this system, it's going to be very difficult for international students to distinguish themselves, as they already have a disadvantage compared to the US students. So that's why I feel a little bit of time pressure to take this examination before the end of this year, which gives me 10 to 9 months. So that should be enough time, but it requires some dedication and motivation, and I need to study really hard right now. So that's the background, and now the reasoning why I think studying for the USMLE studying for the USMLE Step 1 examination as an international student can be a great learning opportunity. First of all, you should not take this examinations if you don't have any aspirations to work or to move to the US at some point in your career. This examination takes up a lot of your free time. It requires a lot of money. So all in all, it's a very difficult process in terms of time, cost, energy, mental health, everything. So if you don't have any aspirations to move to the US, don't consider taking this examination. There are better ways to spend your time. However, if you as an international student are toying with the idea or considering the idea of moving to the US at some point, I think it's best to do it as early as possible. So when you're in the middle of med school, just like me, because when you do it in medical school, the knowledge, the medical content is still pretty fresh in your head. So it's easier to study for this very dense examination, and the preparation for the examination also complements the studying that you have to do for your own medical examinations. So in my case, I still have a lot of exams for my own medical curriculum here in the Netherlands, and at the end of these 6 years, we have our own board exams. And by studying for the USMLE Step 1, I feel like it gives me great advantages because I study the same topics in so much depth and detail that it will help my studying for my own Dutch exams as well. And I also feel like once you're a doctor in your own country, you're just too busy to actually study for such a big examinations, because in that case you would be working, you might have a family, you're older. I don't know if I would have that much motivation to study for the USMLE Step examinations, let's say 10 years down the line. Another reason why I think it's very advantageous for me to study for this examination is the fact that it gives me a lot of extra knowledge about medicine. Even though the medical curricula in different parts of the world overlap, I feel like the American system, or at least the content that you have to study for USMLE, is very much in depth, and it covers a very vast array of medical topics. Some topics that we didn't discuss in our own medical curriculum here in the Netherlands. So by studying for these examinations, I've gained so much knowledge, so much detailed knowledge about topics such as microbiology or biochemistry, that I feel more knowledgeable and more prepared for going into clinic. And I think this is a very good learning opportunity for me. It has taught me so many different things so far, and I'm only studying for it for the past 2 months. So all in all, I feel like the USMLE Step 1 examination is a great learning opportunity for me. It has given me so much knowledge so far, and yeah, it takes up a lot of time. I admit that. It has some costs. It brings some costs with it, and it can be a very challenging thing also mentally, because you have to commit yourself to studying so much. But at the end of the day, I feel like I will reap the benefits of it, and I'll do my best. And I would like to keep you guys updated about this journey as I go along, because there are not many international students, or at least there are not many Dutch students who take these examinations, and we are also in the middle of quarantine here in the Netherlands. So there are not many people that go through the same things or with whom I can share this experience. So by uploading videos on YouTube, I want to create a nice platform, a nice community in which we as students, medical students, can exchange experiences and keep each other motivated and give each other tips. That is my goal, and I would like to produce more videos, better content, and give you guys tips and tell you what lessons I've learned in the process so far, so that some things might be a little easier for you. Okay, thank you for watching, and If you have any questions or you want to leave a comment, do that in the comment sections below. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys the next time. Just let me know what kind of videos you'd like to watch. Bye.